Ladies and gentlemen, I actually come to you guys with some exciting and good news for Dallas Cowboys fans, and it honestly should give us a little bit of reassurance as to maybe this offseason will be a little bit different. Let's get right into this. As the Dallas Cowboys, they're prepared to interview some surprising candidates, and some of those candidates are guys that we all would like to be in Dallas. Let's get right into it. Be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content. All right, you can see here, Calvin Watkins has reported that Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys are, in fact, planning to interview Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn as part of their head coaching search. And this will probably happen when they are made available for interview with Dallas. Neither one of them have been made available to interview because they are still in the middle of the playoffs and they're trying to win a Super Bowl this season. So those guys are locked in. I think Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn both know that this is probably their last ride with the Lions. So they want to make sure that they're doing them service and giving them 100% dedication and attention. And personally, this honestly just makes me want them as a head coach more because they are focused on the task at hand. If you listen to anything that happened in that 105.3 The Fan bombshell brought to us by Bobby Belt, then you know that Mike McCarthy's big issue was his focus, or his lack thereof, I should say. And bringing in a Ben Johnson or Aaron Glenn to interview. And these are guys that a lot of people didn't think the Cowboys were even going to try. They weren't even going to try to interview these guys, according to a lot of fans and media members. But lo and behold, common sense prevails. Jerry is, in fact, going to broaden his coaching search, and he is, in fact, going to broaden that search to include some of the top candidates on the market. Go figure. Imagine that. Who would have possibly thought of the amazing idea to interview the best possible candidates for a job opening? I know. Sounds silly, doesn't it? Crazy assertion. But not only is Jerry going to be taking a look at an Aaron Glenn or a Ben Johnson, potentially. Calvin Watkins did say might. So this could be one of those things where you got a Dallas beat reporter just, trying to get some clicks or some engagement. And that happens. And I understand, man. Everybody got to get it how they live. It's the off season. So you got to get money however you can through your Cowboys vehicle. But the Cowboys are not only going to be taking a look at those two, they also put another name on their list for the running back coach. I think this is actually a pretty damn solid pickup. Nick Harris of Fort Worth Star-Telegram was on the Zach Gelb show, and he reported that, for one, he doesn't believe Jason Witten will be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. First of all, anybody discussing Jason Witten as a head coach this upcoming season, they are completely detached from a reality. They're not paying attention to the tea leaves. They're not reading the tea leaves properly, ladies and gentlemen. I already broke this down. Jerry himself does not even believe that Jason Witten is ready to be a head coach yet. Why else? If you thought you had someone that could be a head coach, why would you try to offer to put that person on a head coach's roster or coaching staff that you're trying to hire back? Why would you offer to put them on that coaching staff as a positional coach? Not an offensive coordinator, not a positional coach, or just a regular coach, assistant coach or something. Why would you try to make them an assistant coach or a positional coach if you feel they're capable of being your head coach? Those are the tea leaves. Jerry himself has already let us know he's not doing it this year. Is Jason Witten going to be a head coach of the Dallas Cowboys potentially in the next 3 or 4 seasons? Probably. It's likely, especially if we don't win anything. It's very likely. But this year, it's not happening. But Nick Harris also reported that to keep an eye on Demarco Murray, or Coach Choice, to be the next running backs coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Now, for those of y'all who don't know who Coach Choice is, he's the running backs coach at the University of Texas. And Demarco Murray, y'all should know who he is. He's an old Cowboy stud that we had and ended up letting him go because they had to choose between him or Dez. Demarco Murray's the running back coach at Oklahoma. Not only would these be improvements and upgrades over the running back coach we just had, and I have some personal insight to this just based off of speaking to people within the building or around the building. Not only would these guys be improvements, but this would signify to me that Jerry Jones is in fact taking this coaching search very seriously. He's trying to make sure he's finding people that are qualified for the job. If you take a look at what Demarco Murray has been able to accomplish at Oklahoma since he's been a running back coach there, let's just take a look at this season. Every one of the running backs on the roster rushed for easily over 4.5 yards per carry this past season for the Oklahoma Sooners. Now, they didn't have a running back with 2,000 yards or a star running back because the Sooners are truly using a running back by committee approach. They had literally 5 different running backs with double-digit carries this past season, and each one of those guys had a very respectable yard per carry average. Their starter, he had a 4.7 yard per carry average. The backup, he had a 5.0 yard per carry average. The backup's backup, he had a 4.8 yard per carry average. So obviously something Demarco Murray is teaching at OU is working for those guys. Now we are going to take a closer look to OU's run scheme and kind of how they implement their run game. If Demarco Murray does get hired, I'm not doing all this extra legwork for every single candidate and every single name that they just throw at the wall, right? If Demarco Murray is hired, we're going to take a closer look to really see what type of run scheme he's actually running and what he's teaching these guys. But just from the actual results, he's not a bad running back coach by any means, and we know how good of a running back he actually was himself. So that, to me, is the key to hiring positional coaches. Anytime you hire a positional coach, you want to make sure that damn coach has some experience playing the damn position he's trying to coach. Y'all will hear me say this all the time, especially during this offseason. It always needs to be a former player when it comes to actual positional coaches. I don't believe you have to be a former player to be a coordinator. I don't believe you have to be a former player to be a head coach. You just need a different set of skills there. Those are more strategic-based positions. The actual positional coaches are about the details, the nuance of the positions, the specifics of playing that position and being good at that position. And you have to understand how it actually works. You have to understand how to play the position. You have to have some type of personal experience to understand what it is you're going to be trying to teach these guys to do. And that's why I feel like positional coaches are always better when they've actually played the position. Now, with all this said, and Jerry actually going and doing some, it looks like a lot of legwork as it pertains to trying to figure out the perfect staff for the Dallas Cowboys. It all is going to hang on who the head coach is. All of this will be for naught. You can go get Demarco Murray as your running back coach. You can get a good defensive coordinator. All of this will be for naught if you get Kellen Moore. I just have absolutely no confidence that Kellen Moore is going to be able to lead the Dallas Cowboys to the promised land. He has not instilled any confidence in anyone that he's a leader of men. And as far as I know, he has not shown a propensity to be able to manage an entire NFL football team. And that's one of the biggest parts of being a head coach is managing not only yourself, not only your side of the ball, not only a specific group of players, but literally all the players, all the coaches, and being that liaison for the front office. And I just don't know if Kellen Moore specifically is equipped for that. And I damn sure don't think Kellen Moore is equipped to be a Dallas Cowboys head coach, because that's a whole different level of media attention and scrutiny. And I just don't, I don't know, man. Kellen has not instilled any confidence in me, and that is the last thing I want. But if we were to bring in a Aaron Glenn, a Ben Johnson, bring in a Demarco Murray or a Coach Choice to be our running backs coach, bring in guys who are actually legitimate NFL people, then I think we have to look at this as a W, y'all. Now, this whole time I've been campaigning for Ben and Aaron Glenn. Either one of those guys I'll be happy with, and I just let you guys made me believe that Jerry wasn't even going to interview them, but lo and behold, I guess Jerry ain't as senile and old as we all think he is, because he can still exhibit some common sense. And I think that's the most exciting thing about these reports that have come out as far as the Cowboys coaching search. Deion Sanders has made comments about the position. Deion Sanders has been kind of teasing a little bit that he's thinking about it. He put out a little Instagram post or Instagram story, and he pretty much liked the post by KG Certified talking about Deion to the Dallas Cowboys. So Deion is entertaining this as well. And I think what's going to happen with Deion is if the Cowboys can't get the person they actually want, which may be one of these coaches that's still coaching in the playoffs, if they can't get the actual coach that they want, if a Ben Johnson goes to the Raiders, if Aaron Glenn actually goes to the Jets, I think Deion Sanders is going to end up being the choice there, and we're going to see him chunk up the deuces to Colorado. And I think that's just what's going to happen. There's no way that Jerry Jones sees social media. Jerry Jones sees what the fans are talking about. There's no way he's going to see the overwhelming consensus that no one wants Kellen here from the fan base and still hire him as a head coach, because I think Jerry Jones's biggest mission this offseason is trying to figure out how to get the fans back bought in on this team, and that's going to take some legitimate football moves and not just stuff that Jerry's comfortable with. And that's just where I'm coming from with it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment below, and we stick same old Cowboys.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. abortion of abortion. Hey, I'm still them boys.